We're coming at you with another episode of Instant Noodle Recipe Time, the show where I show you what to do with your instant noodles. And today, I've got something from Taiwan. I found it there, not there, but I found it at 99 Ranch Market, and I thought it sounded kind of cool. It's from a brand called Shin Horng. It's Horng, so Horng. Weird word. Shin Horng. And they have a sesame and ginger lukang noodle, I think it was. Really thin, and it made the top 10 Taiwan list. And that's the only other by this brand I've had. So we'll see how it goes. This is their Shin Horng Hans dry noodle. Yeah. Traditional Sichuan Chilli flavor. It's Hon apostrophe S. Let's see if you can see that there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's on here somewhere. Yeah. Now I can't find it. Oh, it's way up here. Yeah. There you go. But it's like, really? And it's like this dude named Han, I guess. My name doesn't have an apostrophe. He's got a huge thumb. Yeah. And yeah, so I got the water boiling. Here is one of the individual packs. I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood to do a mukbang, but I don't know. I haven't done enough walking really to give myself that kind of reward. I don't know. I feel the need to burn a bunch of calories. Here's the noodle block going in the boil for 5 minutes. Boom. And one thing that's kind of peculiar about this, it's in a Ziploc. And there's only one other time when the idea of a Ziploc to hold sachets was mentioned. And that was during discussions when, oh, you might not know this. If you go and look at, I think it, what is it, Review 2500 or 2000? I want to say it's 2500. Just go to theramenrater.com or just type in the Ramen Rater into Google. The Ramen Rater space 2500, and it should come up with the Ramen Raiders Select Supreme Shrimp Creamy Tom Yum. Wonderful noodle. Unfortunately, that just really went sadly, poorly. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't the investor's fault. It was just one guy's fault. It was too bad. We ended up being good friends, and he ended up making a lot of people unhappy. So it's too bad. Way too, really too bad. But luckily, I don't know, hopefully everybody that was in on that moved on. But, and hopefully that, yeah, anyways, I'm not gonna drag anybody's face through the muck. They can do that themselves. Right, here's a paste sachet, and I guess this is just spring onion. So, yeah. But yeah, Shin Horng. I mean, just the name is fun to say. Shin Horng. It's hard to say fast. And, yeah. Still waiting for them to call back about our plates. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the episode before this one. So something happier. This weekend, I'm going to go see my brother. So the story of that in 2 minutes. So my wife got me a DNA kit for Christmas last year, and it came up and it showed somebody that I'd never heard of before. I'm like, whatever. I'm not Asian. I was hoping that I would be like 1% Asian, have more street cred. Nope. And then this guy's like, contacts me and he's like, "Do you have bad eyesight?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Interesting. Yeah, you should talk to my father." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then I get this guy telling me that um, he thinks that he is my brother. In fact, he doesn't think, he's like, "I know I'm your brother." And I'm like, "What?" And so, what do I do? My dad isn't around anymore, so I asked my mom. She's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. Could be my brothers, but no, nothing like that." I'm like, "Okay." Well, long story short, um, something happened when my mom and dad were just married, and they decided to adopt out the child, and that's my brother, and I never knew about it, and they never talked about it, and I think they were probably just really bummed about it, and they didn't feel that they were in a situation where they could handle having a kid at the time, and that was back in 1955. And so I've got a brother that's 20 years older than me. Yeah, wow, right? Not only that, he lives in Jerusalem, and he's what do you call it? Hasidic. He's very Jew. I mean, he is Jewish. Um, he wears the hat. He has a long beard. He has the payas, and he's legally blind. His eyesight is worse, way worse than mine. He's got a cane. He's got a dog named Rocky. That's awesome. I haven't met him yet, but he's a pretty cool dog, I can tell. And in the first time I talked to him was on Valentine's Day this year. And since then, we've talked every week for a good 3, almost 4 hours, just about anything and everything. And we got to meet up towards the end of April, and we're going to meet again on Sunday at this little Jewish pizza joint down in Seattle. So it's pretty cool. It's if you're thinking like, wow, I wonder what it'd be like to all of a sudden like have a sibling and you never had a brother before and never knew about it. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's cool because I mean, on the bright side, I mean, he's not a jerk. He's not a weirdo. I mean, he's weird, you know, which is like in a good way. You know, I consider myself weird. He likes to kid around. He says, "Well, you know, I'm not such a bad guy. I'm not as bad as a lot of people think." It's like, well, what? But yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got a brother. And, you know, when I first found out, a lot of different things went through my head. I was like, you know, first it was the whole science thing. It said you have this many DNA chains that are, you know, alike and this and that. And I had taken the test and his son had taken the test, and I'm like thinking, well, maybe he should take the test himself. If that comes back 100%, then, you know, that probably kind of clinches it. And then he did. But it's still, there was a little bit of doubt. And then it turned out that my mom told my sister that, oh yeah, it's true. She won't talk to me about it, but she'll talk to my sister about it. So it's like, whatever. But, you know, she doesn't want to meet him, doesn't want to anything like that. I guess as soon as he was born, she didn't even get to hold him or anything. So it's like, it's hard because they had him and adopted him, and then they had my 2 sisters, and one of my sisters died when she was, I think, 12, and then they had me. And they originally, I guess, only planned on having 2 kids, and I heard that a lot when I was growing up. But yeah, so it's always just been this weird tension in my family that I I kind of just didn't know about. And I mean, Christ, being able to keep a secret or not acknowledge something like that for, well, 40, 50, for 64 years, I guess. Well, at least all my life and all my sister's life. So, yeah, it's just like, wow. But my mom's main thing is that she's worried about what people will think of her having a kid out of wedlock. And it's just like, so many people have so many problems these days. And back then, it's just like, okay, maybe judgment would have been kind of harsh back in the 50s. But now, nobody cares about that. They're probably, I mean, the first thing probably people would think like, that must have been so hard for you. I'm sorry to hear that things had to go that way. They're not going to go like you or anything like that. If they do, they can answer to me and my brother and my sister. We'll, we'll punch them, you know. But anyways, this is the first time I've really like gone into it about it, and you know, it's kind of like. I really doubt my mom will see an episode about Taiwanese instant noodles or Taiwanese dry noodles. But it's possible, you know. Half of me hopes she doesn't. Half of me hopes she does. Because I haven't even been able to talk to her about it. She just blocks me whenever I try to say, hey, can we talk about my brother? I don't want to talk about that. So. But he's a nice guy. They should meet. Because he's known that he's been adopted since he was like 10 or 11. And she just doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She's like, don't want him to think that he's my kid. Don't want him to think this and that. And it's just like, let's give this a try. You know, that's the flavor I needed today. Oh, yeah. Is it a mind-blowing Taiwanese dry noodle? I won't say that, but it's damn good. That's an easy 5. Usually Taiwanese dry noodles, more often than not, they get a 5 from me. I really like most of them. Sometimes the seasonings are like really off, and then they won't. And sometimes they just, I don't know, they just don't work. This is one of the ones that sing. Look at those noodles. Now this doesn't tend to seem that well, it's kind of got the vein. Usually this width of noodle, this gauge, there will be a thicker line down the middle, and the sides will be almost like scalloped and really thin. So you get the mouthfeel of a thick noodle, thick and chewy noodle, as well as a thin one. And this doesn't have that, but the mouthfeel on this is perfect. The seasoning is spicy Sichuan chili. Not too much, not too little, not too greasy, not too oily. Just the right amount of saltiness. And the little bit of spring onion with it is just the bomb. This is really nice. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Hey Miles, I'm happy. Wish you were happier without that cough, buddy. But yeah, I get to go see my brother. There's a second time in my life. And I've only known that he's existed since last February. Or when I first talked to him. And it's funny because I keep a journal. And I was looking in it a couple weeks ago. And you know, I wasn't like, oh yeah, this guy's totally my brother, 100%. You know, there was a bit of time that it took for me to like get with the understanding of that and realizing, yeah, actually I do have a brother. Same with my sister. It took her a little while to get in the way. But once, once it came down from on high, that he definitely was, that kind of clinched it for both of us. But I was looking at not a post, wow, a page that I wrote, and it's just like, talk to my brother today. It's like, yeah, don't worry, he's your brother. Let's put some chashu on here. I really like this kind of setup. I've done this on quite a few dry noodle varieties. Soft egg. Soft egg, chashu. Some spring onion. God, the spring onion lately has just been vile. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's like, this looks like the pickled cabbage from the last review. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Come on, guys. A little pepper flake. And throw some garlic on this one, too. But yeah, I'll maybe in one of the upcoming episodes. I know there's like a crowd of people that watch this show, and then there's crowds of people that watch other shows that I do. Here, let's rotate them. And I don't know. Maybe I'll in one of these episodes we'll take a bunch of pictures this weekend, and I'll put up a picture of me and my brother. It's kind of weird. It's like when we first met in April. It was really, really trippy. I could feel that he was my brother. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not a religious person. I don't really believe in a lot of mumbo jumbo. Just, noodle mumbo jumbo. But yeah, I definitely had like a sense that we were of the same blood, I guess. I don't know how to put it. But yeah, and he's not a half brother. He's a full brother. Same mom and dad. And it was just cool. It was nice, and it was just like we picked up, like we had always. I mean, I we're into a lot of the same music. He's a funny guy. I guess I think I'm a funny guy, and yeah. So, really trippy thing. And the joke around here is like, my wife thinks that, she's like, I'm never going to top that for a Christmas present. It's like, no, you can't. That's kind of a little further from the realm of a Christmas present than that's like above and beyond, I don't know that if she hadn't gotten that, if I would have ever like shelled out $100 for a DNA test. I mean, that's a lot of money, and it's just like, here's $100. Let's find out if I'm Asian. By the way, I know I'm not. So, but it ended up being a really neat thing. So, yeah, pretty happy about it. All right, well, this has been Hans the Ramen Raider, wishing you enjoyment of your noodles every day. Week is done for me. Oh, I want to totally mukbang this. No. Yeah, no. How many calories is it? That's kind of the clincher. If it's like under 200 calories, which right there, that means it's not. It is. Yeah, 450. Nope. I'm going to go do a bunch of apartment laps. I'm going to go do like 10,000 steps now. Yeah. Bye-bye, noodles. All right, have a good one. Later.